This is a how-to video on how to use Lightroom to build and organize your portfolio. We will have another video on how to export that portfolio and save it in PDF format, also using Lightroom. If you have not yet created a Lightroom catalog and imported your artwork into the Lightroom platform, there will be another video on that. This video is assuming that you already have a Lightroom catalog set up and your artwork thumbnails are accessible in Lightroom's library module. Please watch this video and learn what you can do and how easy it is to build a portfolio using Lightroom. First, we want to navigate in the library panel of Lightroom. At the top, you're going to see that I'm in the library panel. The library panel on the left-hand side shows you all your folders. You should have an organized system of where your artwork is saved. Possibly your artwork lives in multiple different folders based on projects. And what you want to do is select, your goal is to select 20 artworks to be organized into a portfolio. So your 20 artwork pieces should be organized in project theme or visual impact. So they should go together. I recommend, for example, project themes. If you have a portfolio of 20 and you have 4 project themes or ideas or concepts that you've been developing and that you've developed into your artwork, you can organize 4 different themes and have 5 images each, more or less. So, for example, this Art 206 portfolio, student portfolio, that we're going to put together is going to be on the themes from 4 projects. One is called Portraits. The other one is Ordinary Made Extraordinary. The other one is Pictures from Home. And the last one is Abstract. So what you want to do is look for themes in your own artwork and put them together based on a theme. You can have all 20 in the same theme, or you can have 4 themes of 5 images each, or you can have 2 themes of 10 images each. It depends on your own work and what you want to highlight in your work. So put together your portfolio with that in mind. So let's use Lightroom, first of all, to select some of the artwork that we are considering for our portfolio. And how you do that is you navigate to those folders and you select all the folders in the folder panel. And to select folders that are not all in order, you're going to use the Command key after you select the first one. So for example, I'm going to scroll through and say, yeah, some of this artwork may be in my portfolio in this Portraits folder. Then I'm going to hold down the Command key. This Abstract folder, some artwork is in the Abstract folder. Some artwork is in Where the City Ends, possibly. Some artwork might be in Ordinary Extraordinary. Some artwork might be from Photographer's Eye, from Pictures from Home, from this James White is a student that was in that class, and he had some images. And then, let's see, Photo Montage. Sure. So those are the folders where the artwork lives. Okay, so you select them all, and now you can see all the thumbnails in the middle here of all of the images that you may be selecting for your portfolio. Okay, so here's all your artwork. You're browsing it in Lightroom, and I recommend that you start using star ratings to filter the, select a star rating that's going to be specifically for your portfolio. And make sure that that's the only star rating that you're using for the portfolio, images only. So if I'm going to use 3 for the portfolio, 3 stars for the portfolio, because I'm going to narrow them down later by 3 stars only, and I'm only going to look at the images that have 3 stars on them. This helps you filter down your images so that you're not looking at all of them all at once and you know which ones you've selected. So if I'm going to use 3 stars, it needs to be 3 stars only for the portfolio selection. So this one is already 3 stars, and I don't know if I'm selecting it for my portfolio, so I'm just going to change that to 2. And how you select the stars, you just press the number on your keyboard after you click on the image. So anything that's a 3 star, I'm going to demote it down to 2 for now, if that doesn't mess up your selections for something else. Okay, or you can use 4 stars if you want to keep your 3-star ratings. Okay, so the way I use star ratings is to filter them down. So I only want to look at the ones that are, I'm going to use 3 stars to designate that that means it's a portfolio image. Okay, so if I haven't selected it yet, I'm going to move it back down to 2 stars. Okay, so anything that's a 3-star, I'm going to change it to 2-star for the purposes of this exercise. So I'm just going to go all through all of this by hitting the shift key. I'm going to select all of these and I'm just going to make them all 2 stars. Okay, so that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is start picking the ones for my portfolio. Remember, I need 20 for the portfolio, and I decided the themes of the artwork will be portrait, something ordinary made extraordinary, pictures from home, and abstract. So I'm going to take a look and say, you know what, I really would like this one to be in the portfolio. So I'm going to put 3 stars on it, hitting just the number 3 on the keyboard. Okay, I'm going to pick this one because that one could be abstract or ordinary made extraordinary. I'm going to pick this one, same thing, abstract or ordinary made extraordinary. I'm going to go through, I'm going to pick this one. That could be ordinary made extraordinary. This one is, it could be ordinary made extraordinary or abstract. Let's see, this one could be abstract. This one could be portraits. This one could be portraits. This one could be portraits, portfolio. This one, it already has 3 stars. I should have made it 2 before it because I wasn't sure if it was going to go in the portfolio, but this one I do want it to be in the portfolio, so I made it 3. 3 is good for that one. Let's see, this one was 3 stars, portfolio, portfolio. This one, portfolio, I want that in my portfolio. This one I want it in my portfolio. I want this in the portfolio. So you see you're going through, and the ones that you're sure you want in the portfolio, go ahead and put 3 stars on it. That's the first step. Okay, let's see here. This one could be this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so now that you've marked 3 stars, okay, what do we do next? Why did I mark them as 3 stars? So I can filter them and now only look at my 3 stars and see how many they are. The 3 stars are the selection for the portfolio. That's just what I decided. You could use 4 stars, you could use 2 stars, but you make sure that nothing else has that star system, that star, so that you know that if it has a 3 star on it, that's your portfolio. So now, in the library module, bottom right corner, right above the film strip, you're going to find the filter button. So click on the menu, and rated are the ones that you rated with certain stars. So you click on rated, and then it asks you, filter by how many stars? I'm going to filter by 3 stars. And right now it's on rate. Click on this menu. You see the greater than or equal to. You click on that. Rating is greater than or equal to 3 stars. That's not good because then I'm going to see 4 stars and 5 stars also if I have them. Rating is less than or equal to 3 stars. No. Rating is equal to 3 stars. Yes. So I'm just going to have like exactly 3 stars is what I want to see. And it tells me 25 of 78 photos selected. So now I have 25 photographs, 25 artworks. So the 25, if you might say, oh, but Professor, you said a portfolio of 20, do I have to delete 5 of them? Technically, yes, but you don't have to decide now. What I recommend is go ahead if you're not sure which 5 to take out and you have more than 20, go ahead and start organizing them into a portfolio. And as you organize them, you're going to really see which ones don't go in the portfolio. It doesn't fit. Because by the time you do the sequencing, it's going to naturally play out that this doesn't go with the others and this one doesn't go with the others, and it's stronger if you take it out. So if you have more, not to worry, because we're gonna do another another way of removing them once we're starting to sequence them in the collection. Okay, so now that you selected them all, you know there's 25, and you filtered them by 3 stars here. What we're gonna do is select them all and put them in a collection. Right now, all of these artworks are in different folders. We don't wanna move them out of their folders. This is the beauty of Lightroom. They stay where they are, they're in their folders. If you put them in a collection, they're all grouped together in a virtual collection so you can see them together without moving them out of their folders. Okay, you might say, I already see them now. It's true, but right now you cannot move them around using a custom order. The reason you put them in a collection is you're gonna see them all together without having to select the folders they're in. And you're going to be able to move them around in the sequence that you want so you can prepare the correct order for your PDF. So the first thing I do before I create a collection is select them all. So Command A is select all, and you see all the images are highlighted. Then I scroll down to the collections panel. You see it says here collections. Press the plus sign and create a new collection. Don't create a smart collection or collection set, just create a collection. And this one I'm gonna call Art 197 Portfolio. That's gonna be your collection name. I'm gonna just call it Demo for now because I already made one before. And then the options are, make sure you put a check mark to include the selected photos. Since you've already selected them, it's gonna automatically put the selection into this new collection that you're creating, and set as target collection. When you set it as a target collection, you can go back anytime to the folders and just press a shortcut key, which is the letter B, and it'll automatically add that artwork to your collection by the shortcut. So setting it as a target collection now is also a good idea. So hit create. Okay, you see, now in the collection panel, there was a new collection created, Art Portfolio Demo. And I'm gonna show you something. So now, if you click inside the photograph, you can reorder it in a custom order. And that's how we're gonna start to organize our portfolio based on the theme and based on the visual sequence of which images go together nicely. Now you notice that I have 2 of these. Okay, I'm gonna see E is for loop view to zoom in. Like that. So they are different. Okay, one has the text showing here, the poetry showing here, and one doesn't, and it just has the landscape outside. So if you delete the photograph or the artwork out of the collection, it does not delete it from your computer. It does not delete it from the folder. The collection is virtual. It doesn't actually exist. It only exists in the world of Lightroom until you export it. It's just for you to see. It's like a copy of your thumbnails, but it's a virtual copy. So you delete this one, and it does not delete it from your computer. It still exists in the folder. It just removes it from the portfolio. Okay, so G is grid view. All right, so now what do we need to do? We need to start grouping the images, the artwork together so we can start deciding on an order. Okay, I'm pulling this film strip up with the arrow key. The thumbnails here, okay. That's fine. So what we're gonna do is this one. Let's start putting the projects together. So all of the portfolio, all of the portraits, I'm gonna move and put them all together. so that they're in the right place. So I'm going to take this one. If they're not right next to each other, you can use the command key to select them. If they're not right next to each other. If they're right next to each other, use the shift key. But since they're randomly throughout, I'm going to take anything that I would consider possibly a portrait and move it to the front here, okay? So that's all the portraits together. Then I said ordinary made extraordinary, pictures from home and abstract. Okay, so ordinary made extraordinary, that could be those could be ordinary made extraordinary. Okay, that's fine. This is ordinary made extraordinary. And okay, this one could be portraits. I missed that one. So, oh no, it's here, but I had two of them. So again, one of them has the poetry, one of them doesn't. So I might delete this one. So hit delete. And it doesn't delete it from your computer. It just deletes it from the collection. Okay, so ordinary made extraordinary, pictures from home will be, let's see. And abstract. Okay, these seem to be abstract. That one, these two seem to be pictures from home, more or less. This is pictures from home too, but it's in portraits for now. Okay, so now we have them kind of organized in theme, and they're loose because they could be overlapping from one theme to another. So now I want to see, we need a very strong opening image to draw your viewer in. So I'm gonna switch. So right now, this is grid view and this is loop view. See these buttons at the bottom corner? I don't need my folders anymore on the left-hand side here. So if I don't need my left-hand side panel, there's an arrow right in the middle. If you click on it, double click, makes it solid so that it doesn't hover back and forth. And then clicking once hides those panels, okay? And then I don't need the ones on the right either, so the arrow in the middle will hide those panels. Okay, now what I want to do is, this icon is grid view, the bottom left, and then right next to it is loop view, where you can see it larger. You magnify it on one image. Grid shows you all of the grid of images. Loop shows you one image magnified. In the parentheses, it shows you the shortcut. Loop is spelled L-O-U-P-E. The shortcut is E, the last letter of the word loop. Grid view is G, the first letter of the word grid. So just memorize G for grid, E for loop, and then go back and forth. So G on my shortcut keyboard, E on my keyboard. So which one is a strong opening image? I think this one's pretty dynamic. There's poetry here, and there's you know, a figure going up the stairs. So I'm gonna move this to the, oops, sorry about that. Go back to Lightroom. No, okay. Escape. Okay, it thinks I'm trying to do something else. Sorry about that. Cancel. Okay, so take this one and move it. It's easier if you press the green button here and it makes the interface full screen. So take this one and move it to the very first picture. Okay, what goes with that one? What goes next? This one, it might not even be right here. I might go through and say this one has a similar coloring. It's the similar tonal values from this one to this one. Let's see, E. You have the feet going up the stairs, and you have the feet at what seems to be a tombstone, okay? And they have similar coloring. So and they have a feeling of mourning. So I like these two together, and they would fit into the portraits theme. Okay, great. Then what's next? Let's see, maybe because there's this mourning theme, there's flowers in the robe and dried grass and reeds at her feet. Maybe we want to switch now to a more vibrant one, but it still has a flower, you know, and there's a sense of ceremony and ritual to it in the way that this young lady is dressed. So we went from the flowers in the robe, the stems here on the front ground, to the flower being held by the studio portrait figure. And this is more vibrant. So we've been able to make a transition to something more vibrant. Then bring this one over because there's here an arm holding a flower, an arm holding a mic. And these two can connect visually in that way. And they're both vibrant and colorful, and they're both in the studio. Okay, then we may switch now to daughter, granddaughter, and grandfather. That sounds good to me here. Okay, do we want to switch to a vertical one? Possibly, we can put that there. So if we switch to vertical, we have to continue the vertical theme. Maybe that one can switch to this one because they have, you know, we're gonna take a step back now, and this one and this one seem to go together. Maybe I'll switch it to here. Okay. This has some verticality to it. The color of this pink wall goes the color with this pink wall on the outside versus the inside. This is all interior. This is exterior looking into the interior. There's a lot of headspace above, and they both feel like they're in an emotional state of being. Okay, so we've switched now from this kind of studio portraiture and a contemplative close-up, it's contemplative, to this kind of contemplation, and took a step back, give the interior more space now, and it's no longer a studio shot. Okay, what's next? Maybe this one is figurative. You see, there's this, he's almost in silhouette, backlit slightly by this chandelier behind and above, and then this becomes a complete silhouette, and it's a figure playing a saxophone. You might think of like playing the blues. You know, this one's a little bit sad, and this one is more jazzy. Okay, so what goes with this one come through. Here's an ear. So maybe we're gonna go into the ear now because you're listening to music, and maybe that's too much of a close-up. I'm not sure. Maybe we're gonna put this one first because here's a figure. You see the figure at the bottom with the instrument on top, and then a close-up of the ear. That may be nice, a nice transition. So now the work becomes, here's a theme regarding music. It's a sort of portraiture, but there are some abstractions to it and the beautiful shape of the ear. You know, so maybe this is a time to switch possibly to the abstract, not sure, but that doesn't go, that's not a nice transition. Even though the shape is the same, it goes from vertical to horizontal. That's okay too, but is there a more seamless transition with the color? Because this color doesn't really go with this color. Maybe, I don't know, let's see. This one and this one, I think is closer because even though this is a horizontal landscape format, the shape of the flower is sort of a diagonal, and it echoes in a very abstract way the shape of the ear. So I like the shape of this next to the ear. It's a smoother transition. Then what can go next to this? Maybe we're transitioning now into the flower, you know, the first phase of life and the last phase of life. Okay, so this is all budding, blooming, about to bloom. This is, you know, kind of dried up in the last phase of the flower's life, and we've turned into abstract. Okay, so we've gone from the ear to the flower, but continuing an abstract theme. This one and this one goes really well together because the tonalities are similar, and we've switched over to, you know, it's so abstract, I'm not sure what it is. It might be a shell, it might be a coral reef, it might be a detail of a flower. Really not sure, but that's interesting because it has, you know, that abstraction to it. So I can put this here. This one is kind of real. It's not so abstract. it doesn't do as much for me next to these pieces because I think these three are stronger. So I might delete this from my portfolio altogether because it doesn't really add anything at this point. So remember, and remember that I have 23 artworks, and I need to have 20. So this one I'm pretty sure I don't want anymore, so I'm gonna hit delete. It does not delete it from my folder as long as I'm in the collection. Don't delete it if you're in the folder, you're working in a folder. Delete it if you're in a collection, because you see it didn't ask me, are you sure you want to delete it? Because it knows it's not really deleting it from my computer and it's not deleting it from the folder. It's only deleting it from the collection, which is kind of removing it from the collection but leaving it in the folder. Okay, so what do we do next? This one goes nicely here, from here to the abstract to the wide landscape. Not sure where these go. These are kind of similar, where it's the mask of the person wearing the mask and the dog wearing the mask. But I like this one more because you almost don't see the person back there with the mask on. But maybe this belongs in portraiture. So where do we put this? Somewhere in here. Where did this go? Where can this go? Yeah, this could go here. Okay, and then it'll go into there. Okay, that's fine. This one feels a little bit more like this. Okay, that's a better transition because this is blinds looking out. This is silhouette with the poetry, but there's a silhouette here and then it goes into silhouette. I like this. Silhouette to silhouette is nice. So that's a smooth transition there. This one we don't need anymore because it's too similar to the other one, but the other one is stronger in my opinion for the portfolio. Hit delete. And now, what do we do with all of these? First of all, I like this one next to this one because this is a graphite pencil sharpened, and you see how shiny it looks. And this is aluminum foil photographed with different gels made into a triptych, and they're also very shiny. So I like these two next to each other. They're also abstract, but they're also let's see here. Does this one follow this one okay? I think so, because this is a tree and the pencil is made from the wood of the tree. So I think this one and this one look really nice together, and that one's next. Good. And so how do we end it? First of all, we have 21 photographs. We need to get rid of one. So I like the idea of ending it on a more abstract note. This one doesn't really follow this one, in my opinion. I think this and this could follow each other because of the shininess, the brilliance and the shininess, like that, and ending it even more abstract could work. So this one goes away even though it's a nice image. Delete. Okay, so beautiful. So we started with portraits, emotional theme, poetry, you know, a figure that appears to be in mourning, very ritualistic, and ended on a completely abstract note. But we did a sequence that sort of made sense of various projects and various images that can lead our eyes from one to the next and show the strength of the artwork itself. So now what I would do is go one by one and make sure that the portfolio makes sense and if there's anything we need to rearrange. So to do that, you can click on this arrow at the bottom to hide the film strip, or Shift-Tab hides all panels, Shift-Tab brings back all the panels, Shift-Tab. Then press the letter L to dim the lights, L again to turn off the lights, and go one by one. Good. And that's a dynamic portfolio. hit Escape, L to turn the lights back on, and there you have the portfolio, 20 images in the right sequence, variety of different topics. They all go nicely together. The eye is led from one to the next, and you can really enjoy the artwork without abrupt transitions. Now, the next video is going to show you how to take those images and export them into the PDF format and add the labels at the bottom. Okay, it's called a caption. You're going to create a caption with all the relevant information that will act as a label, and you're going to export it as a PDF. Okay, that's going to be the next video. As I said before, if you haven't put your artwork if you haven't imported your artwork to Lightroom and created a Lightroom catalog, watch the video on how to do that, because that's where you would start. This is the heart of the matter. This is how you would actually build the portfolio using Lightroom. Then the beginning of it is creating your Lightroom catalog and importing your images in, and the end is actually exporting to the PDF format and adding your labels, okay, while you do that. So that ends this portion of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please rewatch it and pause it step by step as you use Lightroom to build your own portfolio.